University life. Now for most students, this is 3 to 4 years where they study subjects which they're passionate about, form great friendships, and also learn more about themselves. But let's be real, a lot of this happens around drinking culture. But as a Muslim, when you're spending 8 hours a day at a place and also socializing, what are the other ways to make new friends without engaging in a drinking environment? You're also going to be thinking about, how do I make sure I can still pray, and what's work and study going to be like during Ramadan? And the stats show that these questions are very important, that practicing religion is a big part of Muslim university student lives, more so than any other group of university students. I wanted to make this video to address these important questions and hopefully calm some of the apprehensions that Muslim students may face before they start university. Because we all know a lot of high-paying jobs often have degrees as a prerequisite, and so I didn't want university to ever be a barrier to those high-paying jobs for Muslim university students. So I've worked in some of the world's top places, whether that's investment banks, accounting firms, or big tech companies, and I've developed knowledge of finance, accounting, risk, as well as Islamic finance. And I want to combine all of this to provide Muslim university students with financial options which don't take into account interest. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about the concepts of Islamic finance and riba or interest, I've made an introductory video on Islamic finance, and I'm going to put that somewhere above me, as well as leave it in the description box below. But my main aim is to study how I can use my knowledge and combine it with how policy making is done, so that I can come up with solutions for Muslim university students. Now, I'll be starting my university as a postgraduate student soon, and of course I'm making this video before starting my university degree, and so this is in essence a prequel to the main video where I'll be talking about my experiences of university life as a Muslim. Now, there's a lot of different aspects I want to explore and show you, so you all know what it's like to attend a UK university as a Muslim. And I'm going to be talking about some of those points in this video. Now, around 17% of UK students are Muslims, and so that is a sizable proportion. But even with large numbers, I can understand there might be some apprehension about university life. One thing I'll be exploring is racism or Islamophobia, which can be a big worry for many students, especially if you're attending universities which don't traditionally have a large proportion of Muslims or students living in that university town. And so how would students get help if needed? Now, on the TML website, you'll find many interviews with Muslim professionals in various different fields on how they tackle diversity and be confidently Muslim in the workplace. But I also want to show how university life is like for Muslims and what the things that they can do if they find any issues. And a big part of this is the people you hang out with. Will they be supportive of who you are and what you enjoy doing? And this leads on to my second point, which is about developing friendships at university. Now, friendships at university will often be friendships for life, and we all know a lot of them, if we look at all the students, would be formed around drinking culture. And this is seen straight away from the start of university during Freshers Week. A lot of activities and events held to introduce and make friends with each other will be based around drinking. But what about activities where you don't want drink to be involved, or an environment where there's alcohol present? How do you mix and find people to be friends with at a place where the main bonding experience revolves around drinking? Now, I have seen some already, and it is a common thought that when an event is organized without drinks, it tends to be boring. But I've seen some events which are actually quite fun, and surprisingly, Freshers Week does have a lot of activities which aren't centered around drinks. And I'm sure when it comes to this topic about events that Muslims can do at university, I'm going to have a lot more experiences to share with you over the coming year. Now, when it comes to discussing all of these points, including making friends as Muslims, one of the communities we often hear about is Isoc, Islamic Society. I'm sure new or potential university students would want to know, what is Islamic Society and what does it actually do for the Muslim university students? Are these societies that hold events for Muslims, or are they just an organization that arranges prayers? Are they even prayer rooms at university? Now, when it comes to Isoc, can you approach them if you want advice about being a Muslim, or if I want to know just about halal food options on campus? Now, if you haven't come across this society previously, it can be a bit of an enigma, but if you're already interested in seeing what some of the roles of Isoc are, I'm going to link an interview with a previous Isoc committee member in the description box below for you to have a read about some of the activities that they're involved in. Now, the other aspect that's quite interesting, and as students we've all done this through our education, is fasting and studying during Ramadan. Now, in the journey of life, you've got differing levels of freedom when it comes to managing your time during Ramadan. Everything during college is out of your control compared to, say, your professional life, where you have a lot more freedom in terms of what you can do during Ramadan with regards to your work organization. At university, there tends to be a little more freedom and independence in organizing your academic work, as opposed to, say, high school or college, where everything was fixed from the curriculum to attendance. But how can you manage your time during Ramadan whilst at university? That semi-independent part of your life that involves part structured study and part independent study, where you can control some of your modules and attendances. I'm sure some of the questions would be, does this mean during Ramadan you can move your deadlines? How do you book days off during Ramadan or Eid? And do you need to turn up for 9 AM lectures if you're fasting? So I've alhamdulillah been given a scholarship to study for a postgrad degree, and I do want to share this university journey with you to show what university life is like as a Muslim. Now, I still will be working full time, so I'll have to balance that, but that's all going to be part of the journey. What I'll be studying and where, I'll be making a video on that very soon, so make sure you subscribe to the channel to find that out. But if you already entered the working world or are about to, I've made another video about working as a Muslim, which I'm going to leave at the end of this video, and I'll see you all very soon.